Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode. And in this one, we are going to look at the token costs in agent traces and how to read them and how to reduce them. So, token costs are the part of the AI agent development that most of the tutorials skip. And you will build the agent, it works, you ship it, but then the bill shows up, and then you realize that the cost has gone up. So, this is a very important topic that how we can be reasonably reduce some cost, and it won't be significant for one of the agent, but when you have like 20-30 agents working together, the cost can easily rack up. So um, the cost in Foundry is not a single number, it's per span. So as you see, as you might have seen in my previous videos, I showed in the VS Code extension that every LLM call span tries two attributes, gen underscore AI usage dot input tokens, and then gen underscore AI uh, dot usage output tokens. So to get the dollar cost, multiply that model tokens price, for example, GPT 4.0 mini with which is like 0.15 cents per million input tokens and 0.60 per million output tokens. So I've shown this calculation here. I'll point this. So over here, input and output tokens for the span are shown. And then um, what you have to do is uh, you do the calculation, and then you get the total dollar cost. So for example, if before a single call with 1247 input tokens and 183 output token, the cost about uh, for per million tokens, it comes out about 187 cents, and then 0.0001110 for the output token, and then when you combine this, it's 0.0297, which is pretty tiny. But it matters because if your agent makes 10 LLM call per user turn, a routing call, several tool reasoning calls, a final synthesis call, that's $0.003 per turn. And at like 10,000 daily active users, an average of 5 turns per session. So that's about $150 per day just for that one agent. So I've shown this over here on top, like you have 10 LLM calls and then 10,000 daily active users. So it compounds pretty quickly. And then the best play to see this is in my extension that I had created. There is a cost mode in the trajectories. You toggle from the duration to the cost at the top of the panel, and the GNAT bar shows and represent the relative cost, the widest bar, that is the most expensive span. So we'll look at it again, and then sometimes it's a tool call that returns a huge result, not a final LLM call. So the token cost chart gives you the same information as the bar chart, input versus output token per call. Easy to compare across tokens. So the four patterns you will likely see repeated are the growing input bars, and each bar gets taller as the conversation progresses. And this context accumulation, uh, the model receives a full conversation history on each turn, so the output token grows linearly with number of turns. So fixed turn truncate after n turns or summarize all turns into a single condensed context message. And tall spike after tool call. A normal bar, then a much taller bar right after tool calls. The tool call returns a lot of text, a full article, a large API response, and all of it was injected into the context window. So don't inject 3000 words when 200 words should be sufficient to answer the question. Large output bars, nearly as tall as the input, and the cause is the agent generating unnecessarily long responses, and fix is to be concise, answer in 2 to 3 sentences to the system prompt, set max output tokens. And many equal height bars represent that you are seeing 5 to 6 LLM calls for what should be a single question. The agent is looping, continuously, and you can fix that because the agent is looping because the multiple um calls multiple times without reaching a conclusion. And explicit stopping condition, something like if you cannot answer two tool calls, say so rather than retrying. So reading these patterns takes about a minute once you know what to look for, and the token chart shows you the shape immediately. So let's look at this diagram, which gives a better idea of how the call of the token and the cost accumulates. So turn one, the model receives 350 input tokens. The system prompt plus the user input message output is 80 tokens. And in turn two, the model now receives 650 input tokens. An extra of 300 tokens are the history from the turn one. So the total turn user message and turn assistant response plus any tool result from turn one output is 120 tokens. And by the turn four, you have about 2000 tokens, which has grown. So if you see the total cost accumulation, it's 0.00111 cents. Again, not huge, but matters and compounds quickly. And output tokens are relatively stable regardless. So you notice the input and output tokens, it's 120 in turn 2, 150 in turn 3, output in is 180 in turn 4, but the input tokens are the ones that keep accumulating. And they also have the lowest cost, by the way, in any model that we see here. So for example, this is for GPT 4.0 mini. Input is 15 cents and the output is 60 cents per million token. So the cost is low for the output because it takes less consumes less token, but the input is the one that consumes most tokens. And so this is how you should read the tokens consumption, and hopefully it gives a better idea. So now we'll look at some live example on how we can see the token call accumulation in real time. So let me just share my screen quickly. And so let's look at the our helpful or the support agent too. And then over here, I'll paste very long instructions. You can see it's pretty long. You're a helpful customer agent for Acme Corporation. You have to always be polite. You have to never give incomplete answer, provide detailed answer, always sign off with best regards. Be thorough, be complete, be detailed when answering. Think of all the possible angles before responding. So definitely it's going to take a lot of consume a lot of input tokens. And now once we have saved this, we have also have file search enabled. We also have tool enabled. So let's chat with this agent. Hi, I need help with my order. I shouldn't have put a question mark, but let's see what it responds. So look at this, how detailed it gets. And then sometimes you need this kind of detailed response in the for the customer support chat, but small response should also suffice. Provide me with your order number. So I'll just provide some fake order number. Let's see what it responds. So ABC 1234. Yeah, I need help with. So you see the token cost getting increasing and the amount of time it takes. And then also does the file search in this. So let's see, I need help with returning my item, some items. in this order and not the full, and not all the items in this order. It has been more than 30 days since I made a purchase. So see the amount of tokens are getting increasing significantly. And now let's change the prompt to something very, or instructions to something very simple, concisely and accurately. So save this. And by the way, there are no such instructions, or the product warranty is for 2 years. And then there is no instruction in the file that it requires special approval. So I don't know where it is picking up from, but we'll see in a bit. So total cost is 581 tokens. And let's see what, yes, what does the warranty cover? So you see the tokens consumption has significantly, or not significantly, but it has reduced if you compare it with the previous turns. So over here it consumed around 700 something or 600 something tokens, but between these two turns, the amount of token consumption is just 200. And over here it's just giving the same email multiple times. Unfortunately, specific details are not detailed in the document, and of course not, they are not. So it is being concise, and it is also not giving wrong information. Can I come into the store and make a return, or do I need to ship items? Yeah, see again about 100 tokens. It is being very concise. So you get the point. Um, so overall, uh, when we look at the token consumption, the instructions matter a lot. And so in this episode, we looked at the cost optimization with traces is precise. And by the way, let me also show you into the VS Code. So let's go to the traces. Let's grab our conversation ID from today. And let me go to the Foundry inspector and share that screen. And I'll load the conversation ID. It should show up in a moment, along with the date when this conversation had occurred. And then you can see that I needed help with my order. The entire conversation has loaded, when it used the file search, how often it has used. You can see it is the support agent buggy version 5 that we were chatting with, and you can see the model response have been so detailed. And then let's view the trace of this. and you will see the number of input tokens are so much more because of the and the output tokens are so less, and even though we are using the tool. And then when we go to the full conversation view and look at the trajectories, see the amount of token consumption, both input and output, is almost equal when I ask it a bit of a complex question and the instructions were detailed. But as soon as we reduced uh, our instruction or the prompt, uh, the token reduction started. And then when we look at the total cost, it has increased to 0.005. And in just 5 turns and total 10,000 tokens it consumed. Sorry, total 11,000 tokens were consumed. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I'm going to share my slides again. And so we covered the input and output tokens, how the calculation works, how you should view the token, the trajectories cost mode, and recognizing the 4 common patterns, which is the tool spike, verbose, output, agent looping, and their fixes, and how the optimization impact is measured. So next video is going to be a very interesting topic about LangChain and Lang graphs, where I will do a live coding and live demo of how to use LangChain and Lang graphs and for Microsoft Foundry agents. So definitely don't miss that video. And then the next few episodes are also going to be very, very interesting about the hosted agent and how to use the A2A endpoints. So yeah, thank you for joining me in this video. Do subscribe and comment if you like this video. Download the VS Code Foundry Trace extension and also definitely contribute in that. And yeah, see you in the next one.